Do you believe there is some type of malevolent force out there as well, kind of interacting with us, or?
No. And I know there's people who would disagree with me. There's good aliens, bad aliens. But I think really high intelligence makes aggression and evil too stupid to be done. When you get to a certain level of development, those kinds of things are just not an option any longer. Just common sense.
Yeah. Like cooperation gets us further.
Yeah, without it doesn't have to be a moral evaluation. It's a practical thing, at least.
Yeah, it's well put. That's true. We get a lot further if we cooperate rather than like survival of the fittest.
Yeah. Especially the higher tech we get. We're already at the brink with the invention of the nuclear weapon. The capacity to destroy ourselves and the entire planet is way ahead of our moral and ethical development, our ability to communicate and solve problems with reason, facts, consideration, those kinds of things.
Yeah, we're developing technology. Our technology is outpacing our moral aptitude.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think the solution there is slow down technology or increase moral aptitude?
Well, I don't think you can stop the development of the technology. So we really need to accelerate our ability to handle it properly.
Right. What do you think of AI and all of this as someone who's,
AI is scary to me because it might cause us to outstrip our moral development excessively in a destructive fashion. There's always that tiny minority, those power-hungry freaks that will do anything to dominate all the rest of humanity, and they're not gonna hesitate to weaponize whatever comes along. So
yeah,
I hope wiser heads prevail.
Yeah, same here. Well, with voices like yours, telling your story and doing the work you do, and I think, if nothing else, you're putting up a good fight, and people, I think, are more and more in droves sort of listening to this message, at least the audience that we have here and a lot of the people that, I've interacted with. It almost seems like the very few that want this, power. I don't know. It seems like it's, to me, every time I speak to people, I think people are good. I see people individually and they're good. I don't meet a lot of evil people.
Yeah, there is a kind of natural process where the evil float to the top. They're a thin skim on the top of a vast ocean of humanity, but the ones who gravitate and wind up being in charge are the ones least qualified, least worthy to be directing the rest of us. They're people whose primary
objective
in life is to dominate others, control others, to take what they have, control what they have, all that kind of stuff. The most destructive drives in humanity are empowered by centralized dictator mindset.
Do you think the non-human intelligence that's been interacting with us would intervene at some point?
I doubt it. I think we have what's called free agency. That includes to destroy ourselves or to save ourselves.
We got to figure it out ourselves.
Yeah.
Is there any part of your experience that hasn't been revealed?
Yes.
Go on.
I'm not revealing it.
Are you being facetious, or is that the truth?
Well, there's things I haven't talked about that I think aren't helpful.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not going to talk about them?
No.
All right. What's the biggest misconception about your abduction?
Probably, initially the misperception everybody had that this was a physical attack by invading monsters, so to speak. And that was a misconception. That it was actually some sort of exploratory activity that we happened upon, and I got myself injured, and I think precipitated the necessity to correct that mistake, which was nearly fatal or perhaps fatal.
I think a lot of that misconception also is probably brewed, in part by the movie.
Yeah, the movie got things wrong, and I've been working on a remake and to tell it in a much more constructive way and add material that wasn't known at the time.
Would you say up to the point where the character played by D.B. Sweeney, would you say up to that point where he wakes up, was that like an accurate portrayal?
Well, not accurate, but you don't
Hollywood accurate.
Hollywood is not into making documentaries; they're into making dramas.
Yeah,
simple things that they do to simplify the story. They reduce the number of crew from 7 to 5. Too many characters to keep track of, and the fact that there was compelling evidence from so many passing police lie detector tests was traded off against the goal of simplicity.
Right.
And so in order to simplify the story, they just left things out. Like, for instance, the refusal of law enforcement to go visit the site that night and saying, oh, we'll just go tomorrow. But they did both. And that complicates the story. It's, not the progression of a story that they preferred, Okay, here's law enforcement now. We're checking this all out, all that stuff, So,
yeah.
A lot of the fictionalizations were simplifications. But the part aboard the craft was embellished in a monstrous torture sort of way that was just not good. And that definitely will not be a part of the remake.